Alright, here's hoping we are actually live and people can see us. But welcome to another week of Indie Inquiries, where each week we review indie game store pages and provide critiques and advice to help your game stand out. I am, of course, Josh Bycer from Game Wisdom, and join me, my co-host from Nexus Games, Sharky.
Hello, everyone. And one of the, key reasons to do this is, this is a key part of your marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're having all kinds of technical difficulties. Apparently, the message I just sent in my own chat says error, try again. I did a test chat.
Oh boy. I'm going to actually do a recording backup just in case anything weird goes on here. But
Yeah, I think I will do one as well.
But as I just said, each week we review two indie game store pages and provide marketing advice and on the overall structure of it. And if you are interested in re-reviews, we are currently going to be opening that up. So for any developer who had a game reviewed, if you would like to resubmit it for a future video, please get in touch with us.
Or if
And
you haven't submitted yet, please submit.
mm-hmm.
We're here to try to help you improve your marketing for your games.
Mm-hmm. And as a bit of a spoiler alert for next week's taping, we will be doing our first re-review and seeing if the game does manage to get a higher score. So, I think with that, are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Alright, we are starting with Smelter. The two games for this week are some of the ones that I've had a chance to play. Incidentally, they come from the same publisher, but two very different games, both in terms of their structure, as well as some of the things we're going to see on their respective store pages. So, as always, we'll begin with the thumbnail, and I'm not a huge fan of this one. I feel like it is very busy. What about you?
Yeah, I think the structure of everything is off. Like my eyes are being pulled in every direction that they shouldn't be pulled in, and they're not going in the directions that they should be. The smelter text and the way that's written is very hard to read, as well as the kanji underneath it, because that's like white text on a very, very light green
Mm-hmm.
background.
Yeah.
And the the yellow fist or whatever that is pointing towards nothing kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yeah.
And like there's no structure here that's pointing my eyes where they need to go in
Yeah.
direction.
Like you said, the title's a little hard to read. I feel like the main character blends too much. Like, she doesn't really stand out other than the fist, which, as you said, the fist is just like, it's pointing at this rock.
Yeah, it the structure is all off. I think the images here are good,
Mm-hmm.
but the organization, the structure, the way text balls on backgrounds and everything,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just all wrong right there.
Yeah. And as I said in like the pre-show, like I feel like this isn't a thumbnail that is like bad or the art is bad, but it doesn't
Uh,
attract you. And I
I
feel,
think I need to be right back.
uh, mm-mm. Don't know what's happening with Shark there. Or he pointed at the buy button. Oh, there's no buy button in the thumbnail. Oh,
Yeah.
don't worry, we'll have the magic of editing for this part.
You're gonna have to tell Mama too. Tell her that I can't watch it.
Alright. feel like the games they're suggesting. Huh, they actually published Minoria? Hmm. I think was like Danganronpa all like the anime inspired games.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm back.
All right. So as I was saying, like as with this title card, or I'm sorry, with the thumbnail, like it's not done bad, but I fear that this is one that because nothing is attracting your eye, like people are just going to like scroll like right past it when they're looking at games.
Yeah, I think that this is not going to draw your eye in any kind of meaningful way.
So grade wise, thinking B. I think somewhere in the B range.
I think probably B minus,
Yeah, it's not.
just because the structure is just a complete mess.
Yeah, the art is good, and again, what's here is good. It's just not laid out in a way that is going to attract a consumer.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to the trailer. Somebody tells me I'm going to have to screen this. There we go.
So
we
they're
have
starting with a cold opening of a. Oh, my trailer screwed up.
we got anime opening here.
Yep.
Like the art in the anime, I think is really nice.
Although it's more cartoon than anime.
Mm. But this is 24 seconds of no in-game footage.
Yeah, that's just way too long.
Yeah. And the music is not matching what's happening. There's no build-up.
No, this music is just completely out of place.
Yeah. The footage they're showing is good.
Footage of the game, though.
But it's not zoomed in. It's just like naked footage.
I mean, some of that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it depends, kind of thing on that.
And the black background with white text. I feel like they could have put some of that text maybe over gameplay. I do like the font; it does stand out.
Or maybe just dress up the black screen more.
Yeah, like all.
I think it's fine to use a black screen. It just needs to be not just a black screen.
And then we have another like 15 seconds of cartoon. Smelter. We have the call to action at the end is good. Shows everywhere that's at. Like again, I think it has that same problem that everything here is good. It's just not presented, I think, well.
Yeah. And there's too much. I wouldn't say there's too much animation, but the animation, like, it gets ways too long to get into gameplay kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels bad because of that.
Yeah.
But, like, if you were to take that animation and you were to disperse it throughout here, it wouldn't make sense either because, like, it doesn't fit what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the ideal thing would be make a cutscene that you could, an animation like that would be able to be dispersed throughout the gameplay that would fit each section of the gameplay rather than, feeling out of place, And so, like, my suggestion for this one would be make it shorter or make it different and where it would disperse. And, that would cost a lot more money. So I would probably go on the side of, using less of that animation.
I feel like the problem here is that everything is good. Like all the in-game footage they're showing works. Like it's very action, it's very distinctive, but nothing feels cohesive. what we say, like the sum is greater than the individual parts. I feel like that's not happening here. Like it's not, everything is not connected together.
I think a big part of that's the music.
Yeah.
Because the music really does not fit. Because if you watch a trailer without the music, it actually seems like a better trailer.
Yeah. And I'm actually playing it as we're talking, like with it just like in the smaller version. Like when you're not, and again, music is such an integral part of trailers because you need to be able to have all that there.
And you need, and the music that's in the trailer doesn't have to be music from the game. As a matter of fact, generally it's better to not have music from the game, not because you don't want to put in-game music in here, but because oftentimes you cannot match the mood properly with your game music.
And that's what Derek talked about, because most in-game music is designed to loop. Like it's not designed to, build or do anything along those lines.
The structure's not built there.
Yep. So
generally,
trailer-wise, again, I think it's the same issue that the thumbnail has. What's here is good. It's just not structured right. So, what do you think? B plus?
I'm thinking solid B.
Yeah. And as people who've watched this or have watched our show, I think you have an idea where this grade is going to go at the end. But
yeah, because they would know that the thumbnail and the trailer are a good part of the grade.
Yep. So let's get with the screenshots. So a few of these screenshots are repeated from the trailer, but as we were saying before, they're really good screenshots. Nuclear blasts in the Garden of Eden, fighting giant dragon.
The giant dragon was in the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a really, really good one.
Yeah. And then the other ones were not.
Yeah, and here's the thing, is repeating your trailer footage in your screenshots is generally bad. But they have 11 screenshots here. The minimum is 5. So,
this is still say that really good.
That 6 of them don't even are extras, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and again, they only included 2 from the trailer. And those 2 are very eye-popping and very, very good for screenshots. So, like, that's acceptable kind of thing. Yeah. But if you did that and you only had 5 screenshots, that would be bad.
Yeah. So, I think
if you did that and had, 7, that would probably be frowned upon. But if you have, like,
11,
I don't know, 8, 9, then that's welcomed.
Yeah. So
it's sort of like this arbitrary rule kind of thing, but it's kind of how things work.
Yep. Arbitrary game development.
Arbitrary store page development.
Yeah. So I think this is a solid A+ for the screenshots.
Yeah, I would give it an A+. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though they're reusing in the proper way.
Yeah. So
they're keeping it to a very minimum, and they're only doing it on the most eye-popping, flashy, like bam in your face. Screenshot.
So, let's get to about this game. So we start with a GIF, and the GIF I feel is a little long, and you're going to hear that complaint over the next 2 to 3 minutes about this page.
Yeah, and also there's the GIF is rather abrupt because there's no text or anything above it. No banners, no fonts, no blue font, no white font, nothing above it. And I would like at least a single word, at minimum.
Smelter, this game, action.
Although you have to be careful if you were to use a banner as the one thing above this, because then you run into the issue of, too many things blurring together. But it all depends on how you make your banners, kind of thing.
So
If your banner is like a full image, then yeah, they'll have the issue with blurring in. If your banner is just a fancy font with like some kind of fancy line, it's probably not going to blend in.
yeah. All right. So first paragraph is a little wordy. You don't want to have all this text. You want at most, I think, 2 to 3 lines, and then you
Yeah,
want to break that up with a GIF, something.
yeah. This is. I would say maybe even a paragraph might be acceptable, but like this is like a run-on paragraph. What this is, you know what I mean? This is
Mm-hmm.
not. This is
Like
not a paragraph. And a
right.
paragraph would be really pushing it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But a run-on paragraph is pushing it way too far.
Yeah. The when after it says annexing key locations, they could have broken that up with a GIF and then use build, attack, and advance your army underneath that as a new paragraph.
Yeah, that's what they should have done.
Yeah.
That
So
would have been a lot better structure.
yeah. Second GIF is the tower defense gameplay. It's okay. And then we have another very big thing, and then the story, they mess up on the formatting. They should have hit another enter here so that it's actually a space between these two paragraphs.
Yep, there should be another enter between powers and offering.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a clear division there.
And the final GIF is very weird. So we have this explosion, goes to white, and then she's just staying there talking to this guy.
Yeah, and that last part doesn't make any sense. Just ended at the explosion. Don't make it long.
I mean, the explosion kind of ends it right there. I mean, you have the ending right there for you.
Yep. And then it's like, yeah, we're going to keep on going.
That seems to be their weakness. So they have a good idea, but then they keep going, and they kind of dilute it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the structure here is good, but again, it's not laid out right. You need.
I would say that it's not good. It's decent.
Mm-hmm.
Because the laying out is part of the structure.
Mm-hmm. Like you have 3 GIFs, but the 3 GIFs are like long enough that they could be maybe like 2 or 3 GIFs individually.
Mm-hmm. There's no text or anything at the top.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. We have the
Smelter,
features.
Smelter should have been in blue text at the very first Smelter word.
Yeah.
Like they did with story and features.
Mm-hmm. Or even use Smelter as like maybe like a custom banner, like above that first GIF.
Yeah.
So then we have features, and this is laid out right. We have bullet points, we have everything organized 2 lines, but there's a lot of text here that could have been broken up with some GIFs.
Yeah, at least I don't think it's necessary to put GIFs in your bullet points, but it definitely cannot hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And there definitely needs to be more GIFs here. But the fact is all the GIFs here are long, and they're like a bunch of GIFs combined into one.
Yep. And it's better to have more GIFs that are shorter than fewer GIFs that are longer. Because you want to use them to help kind of properly break up your page and format it better.
Yeah. And you can't when you have the GIFs and everything, it's the thing you have to worry about the GIFs is that they have a certain amount of bandwidth that they're going to cause you to download.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're downloading this, I mean, you want it to be optimized for people in other countries without, or in the US that don't live in a major city to be able to actually download this reasonably fast. So like you have that limited space, but it's better to break the GIFs up into smaller portions so they work better.
Yeah. And I mean, like the final part of, I'm not sure if we call it the first or the last part of the final game where she like goes and does her ultimate to kill the guy. That's a really good part, and that could have been its own thing in of itself.
Yeah.
So, again, there's good stuff here, but it's not being presented well. So,
Yeah.
grade, what do you think? B minus B?
I think B.
Mm-hmm. Alright. And now I got the title card. So we
And I'll
got...
let you cover this. I'll be right back again.
Okay. So, title card, we have multiple genres. Action, adventure, indie, simulation, strategy. Indie is good for Steam, but it doesn't really qualify your game. But you want, I think, at least 3. I think like any game can get by with at least 3 genres. I'm trying to think if there's any others that would fit here. Like, I don't know if platformer is a genre tag, but certainly action and adventure. We have developer, we have publisher. Lots of different publishers. We have a website, we have Twitch, we have Twitter, we have YouTube. So, yeah, I'm lonely right now with Shark out. I wonder where
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. I wonder where everybody is. But still, I think this is a really good title card. Like, there's nothing here that I would say it needs to add. So, I'm thinking
Except for maybe something to the developer itself.
Yeah. But they do have a website. They do have... The Twitter is to the game itself.
Oh, they do have some stuff to the developer, don't
Yeah.
they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm confusing with this with the other one.
I think this is an A+, or at least solid A. What about you?
Yeah, I think this would be an A+.
Mm-hmm.
So, overall, what are you thinking?
Huh? We gave it a lot of B's.
Yeah, it has B syndrome.
Yeah.
Not the bees.
I think this is a solid B. What about you?
Yeah, I think this is a solid B's
Mm-hmm.
with a not followed by a not the bees after that.
I really don't like how so few reviews. And that is a mystery in of itself.
Yep.
Mm.
So you ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah, I think so. Like, again, it's very weird why there just aren't enough here, but it may be another mystery like Rise of the Slime.
Yeah. Well, I will be back right in. But you can go ahead and start on the thumbnail of the next one.
Okay. So, while Shark is away for a second, our second game, or our final game for it... Wait, what was that? Yeah. But the thing is, you want to elicit a response in people to get reviews, because that's how you're going to build up a fan base. If people play your game and are like, okay, mostly they're not going to come back for your next game, or your name is not going to drive them. Alright, so, with that said, our next game is Lost Ruins. And it's published by the same developer, which I did not originally plan on when I was picking these two games. So, the title card is interesting. It is distinctive. You have each one of our anime girls here, different colors for each. I feel that it is just either a touch busy or just a touch like hard to read. And I think a lot of that is with the title itself. As you can see, spacing is kind of off. They use the same general spacing for everything, including these two words. So it almost reads like L-O-S-T or L-O-S-T Ruins. They probably could have either... I think they should have, pushed in the spacing just a little bit, and maybe raise like the height of those letters just a tad, because they're kind of blending it a little bit like right here.
I think they need to move the letters up to the very top,
Mm-hmm.
where the characters and all that are pointing up to it, through
Yeah.
the angles. They're drawn because there's a triangle drawn between the characters that are pointing up to the top.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you just took all the characters and moved them down, put the text at the top above them, then that would make the text way more readable, as well as drawing your eyes to the text.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
And
again,
we'll see that something basically exactly like that, not technically, in their call to action.
Yeah.
In the trailer.
And again, I think it stands out. I think it has a good look to it, but it just needs that little extra, quality of life here to, I think, make it really pop.
Yeah.
So, grade-wise, I'm thinking B minus B. What about you?
I'm thinking B plus.
Mm-hmm. All right. Are you ready for the trailer?
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yep, hopefully indeed. Come on, trailer, start playing.
Okay, I got mine going.
Alright, cold opening, but again, really impressive animation.
Yeah, the code opening is the animation.
Yeah.
Showing up the impressive animation.
And I like the text being overlaid with the footage.
Yeah. We have this build-up going on here.
Yeah. And then the music kicks in with the boss fights, which is good.
Yep. So now we're going to the climax. Mm-hmm. So this trailer is almost over.
Yeah. Mass unique weapons and spells.
And now it's somehow off of the climax and back to slowly building up.
Yeah.
That's not good. It's like it's starting the trailer over with a new trailer in the middle of the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's building up. You see stuff, lighting on fire.
Additional game modes.
Really advancing here. And now it's building up in the intermediate section here. Mm-hmm. And now you have boss fights and mini boss fights. And now it's going to the climax again.
And then
with the final climax going over, it's like they implanted two trailers into the same trailer.
Yeah.
And this call to action looks like the thumbnail, but correct because like I said before about moving the name up to the top kind of thing. They don't still have the same triangle kind of configuration here, and they don't have the characters being tone shift to a single color.
Mm-hmm.
But like you can see right here what they could have done with their thumbnail, just moving that text up to the top.
And the font being just like a little bit taller as well, making it a little bit more readable.
I don't know if it's taller. I think a little bit less spacing between the letters would be helpful.
Yeah. And like Shark said, like, the first part of this trailer I think is really good. As we get to like about the 30-second mark, when the boss fights start and the music picks up. What they probably should have done, if they wanted to keep everything in this trailer, would have been, they should have saved, the boss build-ups as literally the end of the trailer, and maybe move the middle to like kind of like the first quarter of this trailer.
Well, what the issue is they have one code opening, and then they have a beginning, middle, end, if you were, that's building up over time. That the end being a climax, and then after that they go back and do another beginning, middle, and end. It's like, okay,
yeah,
and then they go into a climax, and it would be better if they combined both beginnings, both middles, and both ends, kind of thing. To make it, actually come together structure-wise, rather than be this weird double the structure that doesn't make any sense.
It feels like we have like three-fourths of a trailer combined with 3/4 of another trailer in a way.
Yeah, it does feel like that. Or two whole trailers kind of merged.
Mm-hmm. And again, like, the footage here, I think, is really good. And the final kind of climax, when she, like, does the finishing blow on the spider and then she explodes in, like, a pink fireworks, that's a really good way of ending the trail. That's a really nice note to go out on.
Yeah. But to be honest, the climax from the first section was actually a better one.
See.
You know, where you're seeing all the bosses.
Mm-hmm.
From the,
and, like death lasers.
Like the 19 second to, I think, like 30 or something.
Mm-hmm. It's a trailer pulling a trailer.
19 to like 33 or something.
Yeah. I feel like,
but like the way they ended it on that one, on the other climax, was also like the best way they could have ended it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they needed to fuse the sections, kind of thing.
Yeah. Either the sections have to be reordered, or this probably could have been cut into 2 individual trailers.
Yeah.
Like,
and the call to action really lacks too, because it tells you, I mean, the image behind the background's great. It tells you the release date, which is great.
It'll tell you where
it tells you the developer and publisher, which is good. But where is it? Is it on Steam? Is it on, Wii U? Is it on, the Atari 2600? Is it on,
Because again, the trailer is also going to be on your YouTube channel or your social media. So you need people to know where they can buy your game. You don't want where your game is being sold to be a mystery.
Yeah. I mean, you really don't need that for Steam, on your Steam page, but, if you're only going to put your trailer on the Steam page, then you're shooting yourself on the foot, marketing-wise, and if the other places where you put your trailer doesn't have that it's available on Steam or whatever platform, it doesn't do you much good.
Yeah.
It's one of those things of the most frequently asked questions kind of thing. Where can I get this game? Like, I can see that they put a tweet, they probably put a tweet out for this game. And then, like, a ton of people ask, where can I get this game? Is it available on the Switch? Is it available on Xbox? I see that as a frequently asked question to the people who actually care enough about the game, to ask. Which most people that see the trailer won't care enough to ask. They'll either you'll tell them that it's on Steam and they'll go check it out on Steam or whatever platform, or you don't, and they're like, well, they don't care enough. I'm going elsewhere.
I feel like as I'm watching this trailer, what they could have done is the section Young Girl Awakes, in a dangerous land, like this kind of thing. This could have been a good secondary trailer. And then for the primary, use the parts where it says, let me get back here, like, master your weapons, utilize unique environments, because that stuff is a lot more action. It's a lot more impactful. And again, I feel like this is a case of, they felt like they wanted that a trailer needed to be a minute and a half, where they felt a long trailer was the best route, and they just wanted to put everything into it, where 2 smaller trailers, I think, would have stood out more.
I think one longer trailer that has a better structure, that's not 2 structures, dual structured inside of itself, would have plenty well worked. But I think 2 separate trailers would have definitely worked better than this dual structure of a single trailer.
Yeah.
And when it comes to trailer length, you don't want it to be a minute and a half.
Unless you can...
is probably the longest you possibly want it.
And that is if you can make that minute and a half pop. Like, as in, everything is perfect in this trailer. You are showing a minute and a half of unique footage as properly, music is tied to it. Like, that would be, like, if you can make an A+ trailer out of 90 seconds, go for it. But most games, I don't think, are going to be able to do that or fulfill that.
Yeah. And what I would actually suggest is if you plan on putting some ad budget into it, even just a few bucks kind of thing, a couple hundred kind of thing or something like that, and you're going to put like ads on YouTube kind of thing or ads in a lot. I don't know how other places do, but I know YouTube does it. Has this policy of that anything that is 30 seconds or longer, you get charged every time somebody watches that ad. But if it's 29 seconds or less, then you only get charged when people click on it. So to make your ad budget go longer, a 29-second trailer would be ideal. Because a lot of people can see it, not be interested in it, not click on it, and you're not charged. Where if it's 30 seconds, the people who are not interested in it, that did not skip the ad, you get charged for it. And it didn't do you any good.
Yep. All right. So trailer-wise, again, it shows really good stuff, but the structure is lacking. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe, again, like in the B range.
I'm thinking B plus because like the structure was there twice.
It's double the structure.
Yeah, but you don't want double the structure. You want a single structure.
I think I'll go with solid B. So, screenshots. A lot of them are unique. Like, they were not featured in the trailer. The Slime Girl one, I think, was. Don't know if talking to the Spider Girl was or not. Of course, that was featured as a boss fight.
Yeah.
Let's see. This was the fighting the boss, which is screenshot 8. That was kind of in the trailer. Now
that's a acceptable one because that's a really eye-popping screenshot.
Now they do feature 2 UI screenshots, which I don't think help.
They help you know that something about the game, that there's how the map works, as well as that there's fast travel. So, I think it's acceptable. It's not good. Well, I wouldn't penalize it for it. You know what I mean?
And to Nikita's comment, well, that's, I think possibly that's why there's so many anime games on Steam. But...
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Okay. I figured out why I have not been able to see your chat. I don't know roll layout.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
But the screenshots themselves, I think, for the most part, are good, and they have 12. So if we take out the 1 and 2 that were already featured in it, they still have over the 5.
Yeah.
So
I think it's acceptable at that point. And they're solid, screenshots, the one that did duplicate.
Yeah, I know, Pony. Yeah, so I'm thinking, what do you think? AA plus?
I'm thinking A.
Alright. Yep, still really solid. Alright, so about this game, we have a custom banner, which is good.
Yeah, several custom banners.
Serious Magician. Okay, gameplay, another really good one. We have structure. Do you feel these paragraphs are a little long? Or you think they're like just at the right length? Because they seem to be getting longer as we go down, actually.
Yeah, I think the last two under gameplay are too long. The choose your own accessories, and they I think they should be a paragraph, not a run-on paragraph.
Yeah, there's no GIFs here showing gameplay, which is a markdown against this.
Yeah, there's GIFs at the bottom, but they're not gameplay. GIFs. They're just character GIFs, which is I would say is a good thing. But you need the gameplay GIFs as well.
Yep, and in the make use of the environment, they really missed an opportunity to take a page from Dead Cells and show that environmental interaction in a GIF. Hit me with oil, then you hit him with fire, and you see like a big explosion, or they do massive damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, to Nakia's point, you need the About This Game page to sell your game, not tell people the story of your game. And
Although
that's
the
why.
story may sell the game.
Yeah. And that's
Certain
why you
cases.
need images and GIFs, because you want their eyes to be attracted down there, and then they'll read whatever text goes with it. If you just have text by itself, they're probably just going to scroll all the way down and ignore it.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have, as Shark said, we have the character GIFs, which, I mean, the animation is nice, but it's kind of like they're putting the cart before the horse. Like, I don't know anything about the gameplay. Why should I care about these characters?
Well, we do from the trailer.
Yeah. But not from the About This Game section.
Yeah.
So, no GIFs, but custom banners.
I'd say there's GIFs. There's just no gameplay GIFs.
Mm-hmm.
Or GIFs.
I feel like... I think I would give this a B-. What about you?
Yeah. I think I'd go B- as well.
Because without showing gameplay here, there's nothing really, keeping somebody's attention. The banners are nice, they're going to get them down here. But again, like, we go back to Smelter, like, as you're going down this page, these GIFs are drawing your eyes. They're keeping you interested in scrolling down to see what's next.
Yeah. So, to the title card.
Okay.
There's nothing on here about the developer. They did get 3 tags, which I would say is technically enough, although I'd like to see 4 if possible.
Yeah, I would like maybe 1 or 2 more. So we have developer, Altari Games, and then Dagon Entertainment, or Dongan, and then we have Twitter for Dongan, or YouTube. There is nothing developer related, which I don't know if I would call that a red flag, but I feel like it's a missed opportunity.
I feel like it is bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad either way. The question is the question that doesn't really matter, but it begs to be asked is what why is it that this is not here?
Could be that English is not their first language. Could be that they just don't want to communicate with people. But you do want to have, as a developer, you want to have your own social media footprint. You can't just rely on your publisher.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want to shy away from the community at every point.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. We got mostly positive for the reviews. I'm surprised that... very positive. I'm surprised there weren't more complaints about the combat. I feel like this is a game that maybe a lot of people bought just for the animation itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but... Well,
the first review on my side says it, but that is a long, wordy paragraph.
Yeah.
A review.
So...
You touch, Fluffy Tail.
Title card is technically acceptable, but I feel like it could be a little bit better.
Yeah, I think it lacks. It's acceptable, but it lacks.
Yeah.
So I would say this is what, a B-?
Yeah, B-. B territory. I don't think I would go lower. I think it does at least have the basics here, but it's not standing out.
Yeah.
So, with that...
I wouldn't say stands out. I would say it's not as functional as it should be.
Yeah. So, overall grade time. Lots of Bs. This is like the B show.
Not the Bs.
I think the only place it got an A was the screenshots.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel solid B, maybe.
I'm thinking B minus because I think the thumbnail we read it as B minus, and the trailer was a B.
Mm-hmm.
But about this game page is subpar,
Mm-hmm.
and the other card, the title card, is B minus. So I would go B minus.
Mm-hmm. So here is a bit of a problem. So if you look at the news bit where it says Lost Ruins Discord and Twitter, they do have a Discord. They could have put that in the title card, or have that better displayed on here. Now the Twitter, I think, still goes to Dangan Entertainment. So again, it feels like they're using like there's nothing really developer related with anything social media wise.
The Dangan is a Discord too.
Yeah.
The only thing that goes to developer is the Twitter.
Yeah. No, not really. It goes to Dangan for the Twitter as well.
You can also follow Atari Games on Twitter.
Yep. It still goes to, if you check the link, it goes to Dangan Entertainment.
No, it goes to.
Oh wait, they have two. Oh yeah, you're right. They have two.
Lost Ruins game.
That's weird. Like, why would it says you can follow us on Twitter, but that goes to Dangan. You can also follow Atari Games on Twitter.
Yeah, when you do that, it goes to Lost Ruins game.
Yeah, that is weird.
Not Dangan.
Yeah, like
that's the developer right there.
Yeah, that should really be in the title card.
Yeah.
Again, you do not want people to have to hunt you down to figure out where you are social media wise.
And the Dangan Discord should also be in the title card.
Yeah.
And the developer should have a Discord and be in the title card.
Yeah. Or at least a Twitter, because that's, again, bare minimum.
Yeah.
And I think I would drop down to B minus then, because I feel like there's too many kind of like unforced fouls with the store page.
Yeah.
So I think that will do it for this week. So we had B minus and a B, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
From the same publisher with two very different games. And again, how you present your game is going to ultimately matter.
Yep, and we have a Not the Bee stream.
Mm-hmm. So I think... Yep, go ahead.
Since they're from the same publisher, it looks like the publisher is making the same mistakes over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would assume that the publisher made both of these store pages.
And especially
since the reason why there's all these links that go to the publisher and nothing that goes to the developer, because the publisher is like, yeah, we're going to make sure to promote the hell out of ourselves. Mm-hmm. We could care less about the developer.
And again, Steam...
That certainly throws some red flags for that publisher.
And Steam doesn't care about the developer. They care that your game does well. If your game doesn't do well, they don't care about you.
And the game isn't doing very well.
Yeah. It's doing better than Smelter, but that's still not saying much.
Yeah. Which also puts red flags on the publisher.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of red flags pointing towards that publisher.
Yeah. Solid games, but they're just not being marketed well.
That's why we said that choosing a publisher is very, very hard and can very much kill any chances that you had for your game to be successful.
Yeah. So,
signing up with a publisher is not necessarily a good thing. Matter of fact, a lot of time it's often a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Because you would think they would know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But, we've seen many publishers clearly not. know what they're doing. And I wouldn't say this one clearly doesn't know what they're doing, but they're clearly not truly knowing what they're doing, because I mean, if we can pick holes in it,
I'm surprised. I just checked the tags. I wish there was an easier way to search for like the major genre tags, because when you type things into the search bar, it usually brings up like the community tags. I think I have the tiny shot. Yeah.
I meant, we could potentially publish a game better than some of. I know we could publish a game better than some of these publishers. I don't know about this current one. Not saying that, because I don't know what all they did, but I know that Josh and I, not being Josh definitely not being an expert in marketing, and me being a lower level in marketing, I can see your stuff. And by your stuff, you mean your text. I take it. But
your text is not. I don't know if anyone else is chatting, and but I just see yours. Okay. Yeah.
But like, Josh and I could do a better job marketing just making Steam pages than a lot of others. No, I just was able to recently. So anything you said before, I said, I just screwed up something, which was a while ago, it wasn't that long ago. It was in the second game, probably midway through, before I realized that I screwed that up.
All right, but I think with that, let's wrap things up for the show this week, and we shall see what happens next week. So, for those of you who tuned in late or just watching this second part recorded on YouTube, for our next show, we will be doing our first re-review of a store page. And if you are a developer who has submitted a game already and would like us to take a second look at it, definitely feel free to get in touch with Shark and I. We are always looking for more games, and we're just trying to build that backlog of games so we always have something new and exciting to show. So, if you are interested, please reach out.
Yep. And also be sure to lick the smash button and smash the like button on both of our channels, as well as, join both of our Discords. Follow us both on Twitter. There's all kinds of different social media for both of us, and it should be at the description of both of our videos. So, join up.
And if you want to catch these shows live, they are held Thursday, starting around 3:30 ET. And if you want to watch our game design talks on the Save the Extreme podcast, those are Sundays, starting around 4:30 ET live. So I think that's everything for us to say. Anything you want to end on, Shark?
No, just check out both channels. We have unique content on both of them. And very entertaining Discords.
Full of bees.
Well, the bees are only on this episode.
All right. So with
and in Ultimate Chicken Horse.
So with that said, come back for daily discussions on game design here and on Game Wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games. Until next time, take care.